I think I got it. I think I figured it out. Okay. This problem with Donald Trump and him winning, I figured it out. There's two things involved here. One is what it means to be conservative or have a conservative mind. Okay. And the other is the definition of the word freedom. Because if I'm free, what are the policies about freedom? In America has never been, until sometime after I was born, long after slavery was over, America was never a place where freedom meant and I don't have to hold you long, and I'm not, I promise. Freedom didn't mean you were free to do anything, be anything. Okay, it wasn't like that. It's never been like that until the 90s and the 2000s. Okay, freedom became like every time somebody Democratic gets into office, we have to expand the freedom. And we have freedoms now that are destroying America. But this is the problem, folks. We cannot expect everybody to understand that, and most don't. Most don't. They figure a lot of these people don't even need the Democratic Party. They're voting Democrat because they think they owe you something. They think that they owe you your freedom. But they don't know you. And you don't know them. Why does non-gay people feel that they have to give freedom to gay people? Your kid gets molested by a gay person? And you feel you have to give gay people more and more and more freedom? You're getting ready to get in a fight with a trans woman over your daughter going into the woman's room and him following behind her. And so now they pulling you out of the bathroom, and your daughter's in there with this trans woman. And they're fighting you. They're willing to take you to jail and put your daughter in the system over a trans woman going in there saying, "Hi, little girl," in the women's bathroom. And so you went in the bathroom as a man, just like the trans woman went in there as a man to get your daughter out of there, because I don't care if he's wearing a dress and a wig. He ain't supposed to be in there. But you get mad at that. And they expect you, if not, to also, as a Democrat, vote for their freedom when this man just assaulted you, almost got you arrested because you was doing something simple. I'm going to let my daughter go into the bathroom alone because I'm a man, I'm not a woman. She's going to go in there and use the bathroom by herself like her mama taught her. Well, what are you going to do? And then I got to hear his sad story about how he's really a woman. Okay, well, a real woman ain't got to tell me her sad story about how she's really a woman. She could be wearing a paint suit. She could be wearing a military uniform. She could be wearing, she could be dressed up in whatever. Manly as she want to be, and I know that that's a woman. And I mean, don't get me wrong, we get carried away. sometimes. But within the first year that they mandated this, little girls were being sexually assaulted in restrooms by trans women. And they try to cover it up. And some people were able to put it out there in the news, or put it out there in private news, I should say, before it got taken down. We don't know. This is the thing. We don't know who we think we know. Just like a lot of black people, they didn't know I was conservative. And when they found out that I was a conservative, they never let it go. And now, the stuff that gets said around me to see if they can arouse me some kind of way, the stuff, and I think they say things knowing that it's a lie, but they want to talk about it around me because they know it's going to make my skin crawl. It's going to make me want to scream. It's going to make me want to react in some way. And as a Christian, I'm trying not to react. But, you think you know black people. And then you find out some of us ain't in the black community. Some of us ain't in the Democratic Party. Some of us actually believe slavery is over. Some of us actually believe that we are free. Some of us actually believe that we are free. Some of us actually believe that white people is not a problem for us. If a white man called me the N-word, that's a separate case. If two cops kill me, okay, just for speed, that's a separate case. That's got nothing to do with the idea that we're still living in slavery. And most conservatives, that's the way we think. We also do believe in white validation. Because ever since I've been born in this lifetime, there's always been war against white people. And a lot of these white people are my neighbors. A lot of these white people are my pastors and teachers, educators, doctors, nurses, my dentists, whoever. 99%, they're white. And they treat me with the uttermost respect. My cops in my neighborhood are white. They show up my door, they show here with respect. And they don't come in here or accuse me of nothing or ask to see my license or nothing, okay, unless I decide to openly lie about something and everybody knows I'm lying. Everybody on the street knows I'm lying. Then they will say, I need to see your license and registration now. Or I need to see your license, or I need to see proof that you live here, or whatever. When I first moved into this town, there was hardly no black people here. Black people didn't come here till after the pandemic. Now we got, blacks are probably half the percentage. A lot of and some of them were illegal. A lot of the immigrants that were living here moved out because black people coming in here acting a fool. And the white folks moved out too. So we got now whites being the smallest population of people living up here. But we have blacks are starting to become the majority to turn this place into the projects. Okay? And we have a lot of foreigners up here, namely Africans. Okay? And some of them can be just as melanated stupid. Okay? They get on my nerves. Okay? Some of them. And then you got some Indians out here. Most of them moved. But they still are a certain large majority of the population, I think. I'll find out in the summertime. Most of them don't come outside in the cold. Okay, so you don't see them the whole winter time. But anyway, to make this not long, the point is, in the Bible, we have a situation where people are they think they're Christians. You think you know the Christians around you. And then you find out that one of your brothers in church is going to jail for raping a woman. This guy preached in your pulpit. You thought you knew him. He was in your house around your wife, but he raped some man's wife shortly after he was in the house with your wife, and you stepped out for a second thinking you know this guy like the back of your hand. You stepped out and took a drive, and you find out a little bit after, that God protected you, specifically targeting you for protection. You left this man alone for 20 minutes alone in your wife. Your wife was serving him, and you had to run, and you trusted him. Now me, I would never trust anybody, not even my best friend, alone with my wife. I think it's inappropriate. I think it's like, I don't care if I trust my wife. I don't care if I trust him. They're not going to be alone together. Unless they're alone together because, I'm clear across the world somewhere and they were in the same earthquake together or something like that, and they're helping each other survive. Even then, my marriage might be over because I'm not here to help them out. I'm in a safe place. Okay, but things happen. But I would never do that on my watch. I would never do that. Not that I don't trust my friends. Not that I don't trust my wife. I just wouldn't do it. It's inappropriate. Okay. If I got things to do, I'm undivided until I get this man out of my house. Nobody stays. Nobody, okay, that has male chromosomes is staying in my house for more. He's not going to be alone in the house with my wife. I don't care if he's gay. Okay, he got male chromosomes. He's not going to be in the house alone with my wife. Okay, but and when I was married, I did things like that, and then my wife told me later about there's people that made her nervous, and these brothers go to my church. Because they're going to ask your wife questions the minute you walk out of the room, and they know you going. They're going to ask questions. They're going to see how well, they're going to act like they want to be waited on hand and foot, like, one drink ain't enough. One big giant thing of potato salad ain't enough, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is the thing. You think you know people, is my point. And you don't know. Until you know. You think you know people, but you don't know until you really know. You know people by their sins, not by their goodness. Because anybody, this is why when we read the scripture about the narrow gate is small because it is difficult. And you think there's a lot of people going through that narrow gate. There's not. There's a lot of people going through the broad gate, and a lot of these people are very nice people. Somebody told me last night, Barack Obama is the sweetest man he's ever met. Well, he never met Barack Obama. But I looked at him and I says, well, Barack Obama's in the news for having an affair with Jennifer Aniston, and him and Michelle are getting divorced, and I don't know if you watched any of Barack's rallies when he was, doing his rallies and stuff while he was president and right before he was president, just like Trump. Barack was getting up there cursing Jesus. He was putting Islam over Christianity. He was getting up there justifying some of the war that was coming at us from the Middle East. I've never seen anything good in the man except for the fact that, yes, he's a nice man within the limits of his sin. Just like Donald Trump says he's a Christian. He doesn't know what a Christian is. No matter what good you're doing right now, Donald Trump, you have to go and repent for all that evil stuff that you did. You and your wife. her nude pictures. You can't just say, oh, because I'm too old to pose nude, okay, now I'm a Christian. I'm too old to sleep with Stormy Daniels. I don't get it up like that anymore. So now I'm a Christian. No. Democrats think we stupid. No. You have to repent for all that you did. Not to all these Democrats, but to Jesus. And say, Lord, I'm a sinner. Because even though you can't get it up like you used to, and even though Melania ain't going to look good in them new photos like she used to, and maybe as an older woman now, she grew out of that. But those thoughts still run ideas in your head. Like, I don't, I was on the bus going to Walmart today. And this young girl looked at me that was old enough to be my daughter. Matter of fact, she was young enough to be almost my granddaughter. And she gave me this look. And so I stopped and looked. Your mama teach you when you get on a bus, focus on your safety. Don't be looking at the guys and, what I mean. This girl looked at me like she knew me. This girl looked at me like, we knew each other in another life before something, She just stared intently at me, and then I realized while I was sitting there, she was sitting right here. She was still staring at me. And I'm thinking, I'm feeling very attractive right now. I'm feeling kind of young right now. But the reality is I'm not. And the reality is I'm a Christian. And even if I was young right now, it would even be harder for me to not look for opportunities to meet this girl again. To get that stare again, and hopefully something physical would happen or something, But, I had to take my mind off of that right away. Like, get it out of my head. She was a cutie pie, too. I'm thinking, and there's young girls out there. Go to the Philippines, you'll see. There's young girls out there that love older men. They love gray hair. They love wrinkles. They love a little pot belly. There's a million and some girls in the Philippines saying that this is what they're attracted to. So even us old farts like me, we're not safe. We're not safe. But you think you know somebody and you don't. You think you know your best friend. You don't know your best friend's trying to do circles around you and get to your wife. You think you know your wife and you're out somewhere and your wife didn't know you was going to be there and she came there to pick up your friend and you're like, where y'all going together? Wait a minute. Let me pinch myself like, what's going on here? And some of y'all are so trustworthy that y'all don't ask questions. Well, me and my wife, we're not, I'm not jealous of her. She's not jealous of me. We don't have a jealous marriage. Well, the Bible says you're supposed to. The Bible is all about you being jealous about your wife. Read it. The Bible never says you shouldn't be jealous about your wife or make laws of trust about your wife. And your wife do the same for you. That's some secular bullcrap. You are supposed to know that you can trust your wife because your wife does not need to do certain things. She doesn't need to go and have personal time with one of your friends. She doesn't need to be in a car alone with your friend for more than a minute. She doesn't need to have a relationship with your friends outside of the relationships between families. She doesn't need to connect with her ex-boyfriend. Her and her ex-boyfriend don't need to be friends. Why are they friends? It doesn't mean that because you forgive people that means that you're friends. No, that doesn't make you automatically friends and you trust each other again just because you forgive somebody. That's not what the Bible says. You forgive and you walk away. You don't walk back into it. Okay? But we think we know people. And we don't. A lot of people get mad are mad at conservatives because they find out that they thought they knew them because they was black. You're a conservative? You mad because I'm hating on white people? Ain't that what we supposed to do? No, that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to resist those that hate you for being black. You ain't supposed to go out there and just randomly hate on white people. That's not what we do. Democrat or Republican, but yeah, I'm a conservative. And as a conservative, I'm going to tell you, stick that white trash up your butt, man. I don't want to hear that garbage. Don't come around me talking about white this and white that unless somebody white really did something to you. And if somebody white did something to you, that's somebody white doing something to you. That's not all white people. Don't come to me with that all white. Oh, that's white people for you. No, it's not. That's that one white person that ticked you off. Same thing with whites and blacks. Oh, it's black people for you. No, it's not. That's that one black person that embarrasses the rest of us. I get so sick and tired of that stuff. I go into a neighborhood, okay, that, only blacks are 1% of the majority, and there's white people like follow me around the stores and all. What do you want, man? You know where you at, dude? You lost? If I was lost, I'd ask for directions. I'm not asking you for directions, so back up, okay? It's a free country, dude. It's a free country. Just like I'm free to call the cops on you for following me around the store, just like y'all can call the cops on me and claim I'm doing something in the store when I ain't doing nothing. I'm here looking for an item. And if I don't find it in a minute, I will ask for your help. But, everything is not a white issue. You're protesting because you're white. You're a cop because you're white. You shot that man because you're white. And you don't want to argue with me because you white. You want to argue with me because you white. Everything's color coded. I get sick of it because I know that that's not true. And I remember growing up as a boy, I was always wanting to get out of the ghetto. When I got out of the ghetto, people wanted to see if I could fight and all like that. But they didn't want to see no blood. Okay? Because they know that they didn't have to invite me. Okay? And they knew that they wanted to just test me to see if the rumors are true. But then I come home and pow! What you hit me for, man? I don't know. I just want to see if you can fight. Well, you should thrown the first punch, and I'm walking in the door of my house. Ain't a reason to find out. Well, come out here and fight me. I'm waiting, dude. I just got home trying to unpack. You better come out here and fight me, or you're gonna get jumped. I'm going to beat you like I beat a white boy. Oh, there's no difference between whites and blacks? And if there is differences, you mean to tell me that blacks aren't just as bad for the differences? Because there's differences that should not be. And there's differences in the black church. The black church is not the place I want to be right now. I'm not saying that all black churches are like this, but any black church that identifies as the black church, I probably don't want to fellowship with you as a conservative. Because you don't understand what freedom is. You were not free from slavery to hate white people. You were not free from slavery to go and bring about the black church. Oh, we got some white people in our service today. Well, praise the Lord, we got us some white folks in the service today. I bet you give them this service, they won't be back next Sunday. I'm not a pastor, but if I was, I'd make sure they're back next Sunday. Because they're not going to be back. 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 They Because the first people I'm going to talk to when the service is over is them white people. Thank you for coming. Where are you from? What are your names? Are you coming back next Sunday? We would be glad to have you. When you come back next Sunday, I want you to come up front and give your testimony and talk to our people. That's how you practice respect. And it's been that way with me in some white churches. But see, they respected their pastor, and they felt that the Lord was telling them to follow their pastor. But you people today are so dumb. We think that Donald Trump's automatically a Christian just because he supports Christianity. Nobody said that. Where'd you hear that? Nobody said that. We believe that the best of the Republicans that we've ever had always fought for Christian rights. And there was always a door where the top people from the Christian coalition in different denominations and all this would walk right into the White House. They had their spot in the White House where they could walk right in there and talk to the Republican and tell them what we need in the church. And we didn't get, not all the time, maybe with Jimmy Carter, I don't know, I'm not sure. But we did not always have the same with the Democrats. A lot of times Democrats didn't care about the Christian stuff. And, you know, Barack went on in there and he fooled us because he acted like he was just a Christian man on a secular level who was honest about his support of also Islam. But as he got higher in power in the White House, he started to shift and make it all about Islam and make it all about, you know, how, you know, silly Christianity was. Okay? But the point is, you think you know. The reason why everybody is fighting because black people feel that they're free to control black people. And they get mad when black people aren't under their control. That's not freedom. Because freedom, if we're free from white folks in slavery, we're free from slavery, period. Whether it's black folks trying to take us out of the white plantation and put us in the black plantation, or whether it's real freedom. We're free. We're free. And the conservative lifestyle is a lifestyle that supports male to female Christian marriages. We don't specialize in abortion. We don't really specialize in the gay community. We never have. Why should we now? Why are you forcing us to specialize in this? We never specialize in LGBTQ at all. Why are you forcing us? And Donald Trump is here to let you know that, oh, we're all free, baby. But you're not free to beat up on your neighbor and enslave your neighbor and attack my Christian rights and replace my Christian rights with your LGBTQ rights. Replace our churches with LGBTQ. You're not free to make the women move over, okay, and trans women are the new women. No, trans women can do trans woman things and women can do women things. You need us to, you want to come and take away our freedom so that you can be a real woman. Nothing, sweetheart, that you ever do or whatever surgery you think you can get. They can go all the way to your brain and make you think like a woman. If they think they can. The chromosomes will always be male. And you're going to act like a male when that makeup's not on your face. You're going to wash and bathe like males. You're going to leave the house a mess like males. You're going to clean up the basic parts of the house, but you're going to leave all that dirt behind the refrigerator. You're going to leave the stove unclean. Okay? You ain't going to clean up the yard. Okay? Do I need to read the police reports? How filthy these people can be when they ain't all dressed up. Okay? They're men when they're not dressed up. They only do that, and I've been there. I've seen them in action. They used to cut my hair and tried some other things with me too. When they're not dressed up, they are men just like the rest of us. But when they're dressed up, they want to act and put on a show. If you're really free, you never need to put on a show. I'm the same person I am. You see, I got my dress clothes off. I'm in my t-shirt. What you see is the truth. Okay? When I get up and get in the shower and get out of the shower, I'm the same person I am when I go to work. Everybody at work knows I smell good. I dress because I'm doing customer service. And when I come home, I'm just as clean at home as I am at work. And if I didn't have to put more time in supporting myself as I do living by myself, I would even be cleaner than that. But I'm who I am all the time, who God has blessed me to be. And I don't need to hide. I don't need to, but I did pick my sides. I picked my sides a long time ago before I left the ghetto. I realized when I was a teenager that I was not in the black community. And thanks to my mom, who trusted some white folks here and there to let me see what the other half looks like, how the other half lives. Okay? And I love black people. Okay? But in the black community today, which they call the black community, and as long as we keep calling ourselves the black community, you're going to find out how we're all corrupted, because there is no black community if you're really free. If you are really free, if you really left the plantation, there is no black community. Okay? If I go to a protest, it's a protest for an American group of people that are all going through the same thing. It's not just going to be a black protest. If I go and join a workers program, it's going to be all those that can't get jobs, those that don't have the education, those that don't have this. If affirmative action is necessary, it's necessary for everybody. If reparations are necessary, they're necessary for everybody that ain't making a certain amount of income. And you don't get special treatment for slavery that you were never in. You do not get special treatment for slavery that you were never in. I don't care what your grandmama and your mama told you. Because most of y'all, they wasn't in it either. They weren't slaves either. So cut me a break. I know why you hate on Donald Trump. You hate on Donald Trump because you cannot wrap your head around that, first of all, a white man can be more caring and pleasing and invest his money even into black America more than any other race in America has ever done, including the black race. Donald Trump was able to do what you can do and you won't do because you ain't all that generous. Even if you was as rich as Donald Trump, and Black Lives Matter was, and they were not that generous to black people. They took that money and did whatever they wanted to do with it, and it did not include black America. But they wanted black America to help them go into restaurants and knock tables over and all that stuff in the name of black people getting respect. fight me. And a lot of y'all sitting here preaching, y'all ain't watching the Trump rallies. Y'all didn't even watch the Biden and Kamala rallies. I did. A lot of y'all ain't watching the news. Just like they still getting on there saying that Donald Trump was lying about the Haitians eating the dogs and the cats. Black and white people went over here to frickin' Monongahela. They went to Carolina. And they interviewed these people. You can go on YouTube and see the footage. And these Haitians says, well, I'm not eating the dogs and the cats. Oh, and y'all left out the ducks. That's what the Haitians said. It's really about the ducks. But yes, I'm not doing it. We ain't doing it. But we're sure some of our neighbors around here, our Haitian neighbors, they came in here with us. Oh, they're doing that because that's what we do. Everybody knows we do that. Go over to Monongahela and ask them, you idiot. And they're going out there, whites and blacks, going out there with the microphone interviewing these Haitians. But I guarantee you, most of the people I work with, most of the people out here, most of the people I see on the street, most of the people in the freaking news don't even know this. And if they did, they'd lie about it. They still trying to figure out how did Trump get shot without the bullet going into his skull. Either, like the report said, the dude was a lousy shot, or he turned his head just in time. I'm going to go with number 2. Now, I used to shoot guns, not real guns, but BB guns. And I did something stupid one day and I shot at somebody. Because I shot at them from an upstairs window because, they always bullied me and all like that. And I figured they're not going to be smart enough to try to trace where the BB came from. But I shot him and I just missed his eye. And I really meant to shoot him in the head, but I missed him in the eye. I grazed the side of his eye. Actually, it was his, I'm standing over here, so it was his right eye. And he turned his head just in time. The BB grazed him, and I meant to hit him here in the head, like, TV style. But I hit him right here. And he immediately went to my house, knowing that I'm scared to death of this dude. Why would I shoot him with a BB? But he knew. The BB came from that way. Who lives there? Oh, I do have an enemy living in that house. And my neighbors came out there and said, like, y'all yelling and screaming out here. I'm sick of y'all picking on this boy. Y'all know he lived by himself. His mom was in the hospital all the time. Y'all picking on this boy. Go home. And before I called the cops, he shot me in the face with a BB. And the cops came and said, and I was so glad that they didn't even come and, they told the cops I'm living over there by myself. I'm in the window shooting BBs out at people and all like that. And I don't even think they approached my house, Actually, they found criminal records on the boy that I shot in the face. They found criminal records on him, and when they started telling him what they knew about him, that he's supposed to be locked up. Okay, he should be in Schumann Center. Why are you out here on the street? He shut up and he decided to drop it. Okay, they didn't come towards my house, but they kept staring at my window. And I think they did come to my door, and they knocked on the door. And I was like, oh, snap. And I was thinking, like, my mom's not here. They're going to take me away and accuse my mom of neglect because I'm really under the age. I'm not 18 yet. They're going to take me away and accuse my mom of neglect or something. So I'm like, oh. oh God, oh, and before I could get downstairs, they left. I seen them drive off, and but I'm just saying that is an example of how easy people can be stupid, and people can, and I was stupid, you pushing me around every day and roughing me up and saying all kinds of things about me and my mom and how broke we are and all this stuff. You don't know that I will shoot you. And just like I thought I knew you, okay, and I found out that you forced yourself on one of my neighbors. I thought I knew you, but I found out later that you forced yourself on one of my neighbors, that you was carrying a gun, that you was, doing all kinds of things in the neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. Me and you was hanging out together, going to school together. You protected me from some bullies one day, just for me to find out that you were a bully yourself, bigger than the bullies that was bullying me. That's why you was able to handle them bullies, because you were a bigger bully. I told you I wouldn't hold you long. The word is freedom. A lot of black people got freedom twisted. Nobody ever delivered you from slavery to go out and make slaves of your own people. Nobody ever, delivered you from slavery so that you could go and retaliate against your slave masters forever, that you could attack their offspring every day until this world is done. And you thought you knew a lot of Christians. And you're going to find out when you get to heaven they're not going to be there. Because you can fool me, and you can fool a lot of black people, and you can fool a lot of white people. You can fool a lot of Americans, but you ain't going to fool Jesus. You ain't going to fool God. When you get to heaven, it's going to be like, who are you? I don't recall you being in here. Dude, I don't know you. Y'all know him? I know you was in the Black Pentecostal Church doing all these wonderful things. Okay? I'm just curious why you had to put the word black in front of the Black Pentecostal Church, because it's Pentecostal Church. It's not Black Pentecostal Church, sir. But, you did all these things in my name, but you're not in the book. Maybe it's because you come from the Black Pentecostal Church instead of the Pentecostal Church. Let's start there. I'm D. Cruz, your Life Applications Officer. We're already too long. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you soon with more.